Yeah, so yesterday's Bitcoin call out that I sent in the chats won, right? He won like $5 on his demo account. But guys, here's the thing, right? Demo account still counts as a result, right? Even though it's not live money yet, it still counts because people will see that belief, right? People will be like, oh my gosh, this is all I have to do, right? So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to record everything, like the two main strategies that we're going to be using. So web slinger is going to be one, and then we'll get into DeLorean next week more in depth. I'll send you guys a YouTube in the Nigerian chat to save because it'll make way more sense on what I'm trying to say. And then we'll also look at the scalper and how to look at the scalper. Okay, you guys can ask any questions as we roll along. Okay, so here we go. So, all right. We go to your strategy, and then, so this is all in your IM center, okay? And basically, I'm gonna actually get you guys to practice after we get started. So HFX, Liberty. Okay, so you guys can see here, let me move my screen, that we're on a downswing, right? You guys can see that these webs, the further the web slingers or the webs are apart, the better, right? So you guys can kind of see at the beginning here, it wasn't too far apart, and then it starts opening up way more, right? And then right here, it tells us that it's about to go on a downswing, right? And also, whatever is highlighted in the box over here, you see that euro just dropped, right? So remember also to look at your currency strength meter as well, right? I like to use currencystrengthmeter.org or the one that I sent you guys. You can use either or. I'll send this one in the chat as well, just so you guys have whatever you guys want to use. So I'll drop in the chat. You guys can save this as well. Give me a second. Okay. So here we go. Okay. So the one that we're looking at is the Euro JPY. So let's look at here. The Euro has 6 bars and JPY has 10 bars. So that indicates to me, because the second pair, JPY, is bigger than the Euro, then it's more likely a sell, right? Even before looking at the app Liberty, I'm going to know ahead of time before I look at the app or trading view that it's potentially going in for a sell, right? So that's one indicator, okay? The second indicator here is this, okay? Without looking at the chart, I'm looking over here. I see Euro JPY, and because the Japanese yen is bigger than the Euro, I know that it's going to be a sell as well because the second pair has a higher number than the first pair. So that's 2 confirmations for me that it's a downswing, okay? And then now, if pretend that we didn't see this chart in front of us, we can see that this is on a downswing, right? It's showing us this arrow. So that's my third indicator, okay? So what I usually like to do, this is a 1 hour time frame, okay? So that means every candle that is represented equals 1 hour, okay? And then for a 15-minute, it would count as a 15-minute candle, et cetera, right? You can also see that the cloud is about to open up red, right? You can see that this is what they're forecasting. Think about it like your meteorologist in Nigeria, right? They're broadcasting, they're forecasting rain tomorrow, sunshine, whatever it is. It's the same idea, right? Here, back here, they forecasted, a blue sky, right? And now they're forecasting a red sky. So we can prepare for that. I don't like to take trades where it's kind of overlapping because, as Armando talked about yesterday, this is where it consolidates. So it could potentially, even though it's showing us a red cloud and forecasting, we know that the weather man is not always right, right? So we want to be careful and we want to wait for, I like to wait at least 2 or 3 candles before I make my move, right? But here's the thing, okay? We can look back, right? Because what goes up must come down, right? The patterns always repeat themselves. History always repeats itself, right? So what I like to personally do is I like to go back a little bit, right? So it's going to look a little smaller, but here's what I like to do, okay? Over here, right, there's this little like dumbbell looking thing. I press this little arrow and I press horizontal line, okay? So remember how the other day Millie Mills talked about a support and resistance, right? Support being your floor. Think about it like a house, right? And the resistance being like your roof, okay? So if it hits your floor, it's going to bounce back up. Think about it like a bouncy ball, right? It's going to bounce back up. And then same thing for the roof. It's going to come back down, right? So just always think about a bouncy ball. So you want the bouncy ball to stay within that zone, right? So what happens is that what I like to do is using a support and resistance. So what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to use purple. Okay. So the purple is right here. So around here, 129,778 is going to be my purple. And I'm going to make that a little thicker for you guys to see. Okay. So that's my support. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another horizontal line. Okay. So again, you're going to this like dumbbell looking thing, going to horizontal line, right? Again, purple. Okay. And then I'm going to see, you know, where it's been the highest. So around here at 131,597. Okay. So what this means, guys, is you can see, let me just close that for a second. You can see how, you know, it didn't quite hit, but because we're on a downswing with the webs, as soon as it hit, these candles hit my bottom, I'm going to prepare for a buy, right? But so far it's forecasting it to go down to 129.778, which is your purple, okay? So what you could do right now is actually practice on your demo account and go to your pocket option, okay? And do a 3-hour trade, right? And normally you could do a 5-minute on the same one. So here we go. Hold on one second here. So Euro USD is on a downswing as well, okay? And basically you want to do the same thing where you want to kind of look back, okay, right about here, 1.14828 is going to be your high. And let me just zoom in here. Sorry, guys. Around here, 1.14048 is going to be your support. Okay. So they are forecasting to about here that, so about another 2 hours that it's going to continue going down. Okay. Is this making sense so far?
Where are we seeing the forecast? I'm not seeing the forecast.
So this red cloud, you see this red cloud that my cursor is going over right now? That is your forecast. Okay, this right here.
How do we know the hours it's going to take before it gets down to the deepest level?
So that's a great question, right? So basically with Liberty is like, it's very fast trading, very fast paced trading, right? That's what pocket option is for. So anytime you're using Web Slinger or DeLorean, it's only for HFX. So your pocket option, okay? So basically, you know, right now you see up here, there's M1, which is 1 minute, 5 minute is M5, M15 is 15 minutes. So basically, here, let me zoom in a bit here, okay? So basically anytime I see an arrow, so this downswing right here, okay? Right now we're on an M5, so that's a 5-minute time frame, okay? So what you want to do is you want to be in profits 3 candles to the right of this arrow. Let me zoom in a bit more, okay? So you guys can see this downswing happened right here, okay, about 20 minutes ago. So this candle counts as 5 minutes. This candle, 5 minutes. This candle, 5 minutes, right? So you want your candles, your third candle So you guys can see there's a little countdown over here, 3 minutes and 50 seconds until this current red candle closes, right? So what you could do is on the next candle, once it counts down to 0 from this 3 minutes and 37 seconds, right? Basically what you can do is you can take a trade for 5 minutes on Euro USD, because right now they're forecasting, look, the Euro is at 40 and the USD is at 86, which tells me that the US dollar is stronger than the Euro, which indicates a potential sell, right? That's number one. Remember, on our currency strength meter, we can go look here. Euro is smaller than the USD. So that's point number one. Then you would go to this panel right here, right? We can see Euro USD. It tells you it's on a downtrend, right? And it tells you where to enter. So the hit level is where we should have entered, right? Obviously, we're in it a little late because this happened about 9 hours ago, right? But here's the thing. We can still take what we call partial profits, okay? And the other thing, so the second thing is it's telling me a downtrend. That's great, right? Then, sorry, my third indicator is that the 84 number is higher than the Euro, right? Your second pair number is higher, so then it's a sell, okay? So there's 3 points right there, plus the web slingers, right? That's my fourth point. And this arrow right here that says downswing is my fifth point. So technically they tell you you can have up to 7 points, right? If you have anything 3 or higher, that's a pretty good trade. 4 or higher is a great trade. 5, you're like 90% win, right? So right now, this is going to be about a 90% win. And we don't want this blue candle to touch this red line right here, this thick red line. So we want to wait about 1:40. And then I want you guys all to open up your pocket option and look for the Euro USD trade. And then, hold on, let me see. Let me do this trade with you guys. So I'm going to go to my pocket option with you guys. And here we go. Just give me a second, it's loading. Okay, so here we are. I'll do a demo trade with you guys so that we can all be in this together. So what you would do, see how I have Euro USD already open. And then so you want to go to this area right here for Euro USD, okay? And then change it to line type, okay? And remember that we have about 48 seconds, okay? And it told us around 1.14668 was a good entry. So they entered probably way up here, but it's going for a sell. So I'm going to press for 5 minutes. Okay. See how it says M5 here? I'm going to go in for 5 minutes and press the sell button. Okay. I would highly suggest you guys do the same thing, because right now we are in profit. See how it's going on a downtrend? Look at that. And it's an 81% payout as well, right? So that's basically how you do HFX, right? And if it comes back up here, you can take another trade if you really want to, right? And that's what it's doing. So, and that's fine because it's going to retest and come back down. So, as long as this blue flashing dot closes below this red dot, it's okay, right? We still have lots of time. We still have about 4 minutes and 7 seconds. So no worries about that.
But this, what we are seeing now, does it not mean that the profit has been eroded again?
No. So what this means, so you see how so basically we entered about right here, right? This red dot right here, right? And then we have until this gray flag right here to finish this trade, right? So even if this blue flashing dot kind of goes above, because it's going to do a roller coaster, right? During your 5 minutes or during your 15 minutes, whatever it is, right? But basically now, right? it's going to fluctuate, but as long as it closes below this red line at the end of your 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever your time frame is, you win. It doesn't matter if it was above during that time. Like, you're not going to get kicked out, because here's the difference between HFX and Forex, right? HFX, there's no stop loss. So, even if it goes above that red line, right, it doesn't matter, because there's no stop loss. Versus in Forex, if it say went up here and that was your stop loss, then you would have lost, right? So that's the best part about HFX. It's like, you give yourself time to breathe a bit.
And
Does that make sense?
another.
Yeah, go
Yes,
ahead.
it makes. Now another one here is now that this does not have stop loss,
Right.
you have take profit.
You own it's either a win or loss, right? With HFX, because what you want to do is you never want to take a trade where you're just gambling, right? If we wanted to gamble, we could just go to the casino, right? What you want to do, like, you see how I was very methodical before I took this trade, right? I checked my currency strength meter, I checked my Liberty, I checked the arrow and everything, right? And sometimes too, even if you have all five, there's that odd time where it's going to lose. But here's the thing, the more indicators you have, the higher the probability of winning, right?
Yeah.
Does that answer your
what
question? Yeah, go ahead.
How do one take the profit?
So here in HFX, it's either going to, so right now we're open, right? So at the end of this trade, it's going to we're going to go to the close section and see how there's this gray flag right here. Right now we're in profit, right? You guys can see that, right? So once this blue flashing dot finishes at this finish line right here, that's when we know we've won, that we've made money or we lost money, right? And
so
right now,
stop it before 5 minutes.
No, it will not stop before 5 minutes or whatever time frame you put, right?
Okay. Okay.
So you guys did you guys take this trade?
I don't know if others are doing that.
So as long as this, you see how right now it's kind of fluctuating, but as long as we close below that red line, we're fine, right? And
then I didn't notice where we put our own profits or how much. Okay, I've seen how much one is willing to lose.
Yeah, so you always risk 1 to 3% of your account, right? That's what we call risk management. So let's just say this $1,000 was real money. I would only trade $10 to $30, right? Because you don't want to blow this $1,000, right? You see what I'm saying? Yes, it must close below the red line in that 5 or whatever time frame you do. So in HFX, there's no stop loss or no take profit, right? It's just wherever you enter, you just want this blue flashing dot to close either above or below the red line. So if it's a buy, then you want the blue flashing dot to close above the green line. And in our case right now, we want this blue flashing dot to close below this red line in the next 20 seconds. You see how there's a countdown right here, 17 seconds to go. And if it stays on the line, then it's a push. So you don't win or lose, right? So unfortunately, it went the wrong. Oh, we still have about 4 seconds. Oh, we're even. No, we lost that one, unfortunately. But my point is, like, we were pretty close, right? So it happens and whatnot, but overall, like, see, it's telling us another downswing. So right now you could go in for a 15-minute trade, right? And that's where I'm going to go. So I'm going to do this for 15 minutes. Okay. Oops. And I would enter now.
So if you are going to make profits, how much you won't make in this? Are we still going to make, like, if you are losing money, we lose $100. If you are making profit, you make $100.
So let's just say, for example, in this example, right? We just lost 100, but we're about to make 81. So we're still down a bit. But here's the thing, right? You're not going to win every single trade. That's just how it is, right? Yeah. But at the same time too, right? If we win the next 3 trades, as an example, right? 3 out of 4 trades won $80, we lost 100, but we made, 240. So we would be up $140, right? And, based on $1,000 account, that's 14% of your account. We're only aiming to help people make 5% of their account. So I would have made 3 days worth of trades, right? And you don't have to trade. Here's another trick, guys. You don't have to trade every single day. Okay. You can take just really good trades. And we're also going to be doing, I'm going to be dropping, like I did yesterday, all the Swipecoin trades, which I'm going to get to in a second. So you can see right now, we're winning this trade. Okay. And yeah. So we'll just wait this out because there's still about 13 minutes to go. As we're waiting for this trade to unfold, I'll go into Swipecoin. And Sola, I'm actually going to get you to sign in and practice so that you can practice it as well. Okay. So I'm going to make you the host.
Ooh.
It's okay, man. I'll walk you through it. It's okay.
No, the thing is, I can.
Are you on your phone?
Yes, I'm on mobile.
Okay. What I'll do is inbox me your information and then I'll sign in under you and I'll show everybody.
What are the details you need?
I'll just need your username and password. Just inbox me or text me.
Okay, I'll send them. You have it. So is there now?
Yeah, just give me 1 second. Just give me a second. I'm just going to share my screen. So you guys can see, look at this. We're in heavy profit. Look how much. Way down here, right? And you can actually click on the trade and it'll tell you, hang on here. Yeah, we're minus 40 points from the red line. The higher the points, the better, because it gives you way more breathing room, right? So obviously you want it to be in the green if it's a buy, but you want as negative the red number as possible, right? So we're still very good, minus 23. Okay. So yeah, after this trade, we'd be down about 19, but we win our next trade, you're up $70. So it's great. Let me sign into Solus thing and just give me a second here. Is that making sense so far, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. So this is how Swipecoin works. Okay. Someone had a question. Great. Awesome. So what I suggest to you guys all the time is to always sign in to, you guys all have access to this, okay? myswipecoin.im or your Swipecoin app, okay? Always stay signed into your app or come onto this. The first thing I always do is Forex Factory, the currency strength meter, and then I go into Liberty because I have access to all 3 academies. So here's the advantage to our team, right? Everyone's going to get access to the DCX, which is what we're looking at next, but also Liberty, which is HFX. And you guys can see, look at this. We're in heavy profit right here, minus 24 points. Okay. So, we'll be 1 for 1 in about, 9 minutes, give or take. Right. So, we win our next one, we're still up $70 and that's 7% of my account. Let's just say hypothetically, if I had $1,000, right? And again, our target, right, is 5%. And you guys can see that, you know, let's just say we take another trade. All your daily percentage can be done in about an hour, give or take. I've seen it done faster, but you know, here's the thing. You don't have to rush the process. You don't have to take every single trade, right? You guys see how methodical I am with taking the trades. I want as many points of the 7-point system as possible, right? Currency strength meter, you know, your news. And then, you know, like I showed you guys in Liberty, right? You want, you know, see, look at this. The 87 is even higher now. We were at about 60 before. Okay. So, you know, that's another indicator. That's 2 points right there. Your downtrend is 3. And then this arrow here is 4, right? And because you're, as soon as you see this red arrow, right? Right now, this blue candle is already, you know, doing its thing. So if you wanted to take this trade, I would only take it for 10 minutes instead of 15, right? So anytime you see an arrow, I'm actually going to start typing this in the chat too. So anytime you see an arrow, you want to take it for 3 candles, okay? Depending on the time frame. For example, we're in the 5-minute time frame. So every candle in the 5-minute time frame is worth 5 minutes. So remember, you want to be in profit in 3 candles or less. 3 COL. COL stands for candles or less. So if you're not in profits in 15 minutes, you stop this trade, right? So you would take this trade for 15 minutes for Euro USD. Okay. That's kind of how I run my trainings. Okay. Are we all good so far? Okay. So when you sign in, okay, every single day when you sign in, the first thing you want to do is your currency strength meter and your Forex factory. Okay, great. Then what you also want to do is you want to go into your harmonic scanner and your myswipecoin.im. So today I'm only going to focus on myswipecoin.im, okay? Just to avoid any confusion or anything like that. Okay, so we've shown you Liberty, and Liberty and DeLorean are only for HFX. And what I'll do is I'll kind of make like a little cheat sheet for you guys so that you guys know, okay, when I'm looking at Liberty, I'm looking at DeLorean, it's only for HFX. HFX has no stop loss or no take profit. You just have to be either above or below the red line or above the green line, right? Okay, so then we're looking at my swipe coin. And as I mentioned earlier, right, we want to make sure that we are signing in to our swipe coin and staying signed in onto our app. Okay, there's also a Harmonics app as well. Okay, so what I like to do when I first start, so these are all the ideas, whether they're leverage ideas or exchange ideas. So they're a little different, right? So leverage ideas, I'll start with leverage ideas, okay, are anything with the big cryptos, right? Your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, right? Those are the main 2 that the educators send out, okay? So here's an example of a potential buy idea, okay? So what happens is the educator will send you this signal. So I know for some of you, you're like, what the hell am I looking at? Okay, so let's break it down a little bit. Okay, you guys see these 3 different green numbers, or sorry, green zones. Okay, there's one here at 42,000, one here 43,000, one here at 44,000. This red number indicates your stop loss. How you remember that red is stop loss, green is take profit? You want to see green in your account, right? Money, 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 right? Red resembles a stop sign, right? So that's how I kind of remember that kind of information, okay? Then what you would do is anytime there's a take profit and a stop loss, right? That is always going to be in your MetaTrader 4 app, Okay, so what you would do, you would open your MetaTrader 4 app. Okay, then you would find BTC USD. Okay, and how you do that is this. I'll kind of walk you guys step by step. So I would open my MetaTrader 4. Okay, let it load, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then all your pairs will show up, whether they're Forex pairs or crypto pairs. Okay, then I would find the BTC USD, which is right here. Okay, BTC USD. Okay, I open that and you press trade. Okay, then so I'm clicking blah, blah, blah. And then what I would do is in the stop loss, I would enter 41521. Obviously, I'm not going to take this trade today because this happened a long time ago, but I just wanted to do this for demonstration purposes. Okay, 41521, and then I would take my first take profit. So as a new person, I would only take the first 1 or 2 take profits just to get you guys understanding and seeing results quicker, because sometimes, especially on these types of trades, take profit 3 might take a while to hit, right? A couple days, couple weeks, right? So we want you guys to see the vision. And the best part about crypto is that you're going to make the most money because it collects the most points as possible, right? So what happens here, going back to what I was saying, is you would enter your stop loss 41,521 and then 42,000 as your take profit. On an Android, okay, it's side by side each other. So on the left side, there's a little red, like little half box, right? That's your stop loss. And then on the right side, there's another little box bracket, you'll call it, and that's your take profit. So the left side is your stop loss, sorry, and it always has a red little bracket. So that's where you'd enter the 41,521 in this case. And in the green, you would enter 42,000. And then both Android and Apple will have red for sell and blue for buy. And in this case, because the arrow is going up, I would be pressing the buy button. Sorry, the buy button. Okay. That's literally how you take a Swipecoin trade. So anytime it gets sent out to your phone or through Telegram, which you guys should be in that Telegram, that's exactly what you do, right? And you know, even if you're a little late to enter, it's okay. You can enter, right? So that's kind of how the Swipecoin app works and the Swipecoin, myswipecoin.im. Okay. Then exchange ideas, it's basically the same thing, you know, except now they're doing tokens, right? Let me just kind of zoom in here. So the audio to the US dollar, right? And the thing is, depending on your location and country, some of these tokens won't show up on MetaTrader 4, and that's okay, right? There's different ones that will basically send to you, right? So in my case, right, there's I don't have this audio on either, right? So the way you can find out the token names is you go to coingecko.com, and I'm going to drop that in the chat. Please actually add this to your bookmarks as well. And let me see here. There you go. So save that, okay? And basically some of the major tokens so exchange ideas, you'll be able to find here. So SOL for Solana, right? One of the top 5 tokens, you'll be able to trade. ADA, so Cardano, will also be in your MetaTrader 4, and Polkadot, right? Those are 3 of the top 10 tokens you're going to be able to trade. And that's what we call exchange ideas. Okay, so leverage ideas are the larger cryptos. So your Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. Okay, so L, leverage, large. That's kind of how I remember. And the top 3 are usually Bitcoin, XRP, and Ethereum. Okay, exchange ideas are the tokens. Okay, and then the chats, you know, there's the different educators, right? So they'll just give you updates on like, hey, you know, our Bitcoin idea just came up and we hit our first take profit and we took 500 pips, whatever it is. It's just kind of like an update, right? Nothing crazy. Okay. then you can kind of see the results here. Okay, so this happened today. The Ethereum USD idea hit 700 pips. Okay, even on the smallest account, you would have made $7. On a $50 account, you would have made $7 just by listening to this Swipecoin app. Okay, simple. It was called up by Nick Gomez, one of the best educators. He teaches a lot on the metaverse, right? And actually, we're going to get into the go live in a second. But basically, you know, even on the smallest account, $50 account, you would have made $7, right? And that's, let's just say we were helping people try and make $2 to $5 US a day. That's about 3 days worth in a matter of a couple hours. Okay. And then, so that's basically how you see this. And then the final thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about today is the scalper, the Swipecoin scalper. Okay. And let's see here, kind of log in here. So how this this strategy or this scalper works is this. Okay. So on the main strategy, on the main Swipecoin scalper, okay, you're going to be trading Bitcoin USD and Ethereum USD. Okay. And about 3 hours ago, they told us this. So what this means, okay, so that you guys see this little pink line right here, and a buy arrow was called out right here. Okay, so buy means it's going to go up. We want it. What this means is break and close above this zone confirms our idea. What does this mean? So we want a green candle to close above this pink line, and then we go in for our trade, right? And what I like to do is I like to take trades that are a 2-to-1 ratio, right? So what this means is, like, let's say I'm risking $10 on this trade, right? I want to risk $10, but for my profits, I want to make at least double what I risked, right? And how you can mark up this own chart without waiting for the educator is this, right? So you would wait for this, these green candles to close above this pink line, okay? Then kind of what I did yesterday with the picture that I sent in the chat. So I'm going to try and continue doing that as best as I can. And so how you kind of mark up the chart, right, is when you're going for a buy, you're going for a long-term, you know, take profit, right? So how you mark it up is these 3 little funky looking arrows right here. And there you can see that there's an arrow here. So then I would click the long position. Okay, so let's just pretend that, you know, we're about to set up our trade. Okay, so you guys can see that there's 2 boxes here, a red box for the stop loss and the green box for you take profit. Okay, and you guys can see that risk to reward ratio in the middle is 1-to-1 right now. So when it gives you the boxes, when you click over here, it's always going to give you a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, and then obviously you want to put this as close to your entry zone. So this pink line is your entry zone. Okay, so I'm actually going to make this smaller before I go into my entry zone. So basically, you know, let's just see right here. Okay, hang on one sec. You want to move it as close to the entry zone. So right there, okay, you guys can see that. And right now we're a 2.35 ratio to 1. Okay, so basically now I've set up my zone. Okay, so as soon as this green arrow, or sorry, not green arrow, green candle closes above this pink little zone that the educators have drawn out for you, right? Then I know, okay, to enter my stop loss. Because what happens with these apps and tools, right? Now you've set up your zone, so to speak, right? Your red zone for your stop loss so that you don't lose all your money. Like you're kind of like your barrier, I'll call it, right? And then your green zone where you want it to hit, okay? And it's the same idea. As soon as this, you know, you see right here on this green arrow, or sorry, green candle, if this had closed above this pink area, you would have entered your numbers for your zones, okay? And then so here your stop loss is 43. 43,024 as your stop loss, and your take profit would be 43. Oh, sorry, 484, and you're going in for a buy on BTC USD. Okay, so that's kind of over the next, hour or so. I would sign in and see, what's up, right? And if it did close, then those are the numbers that you can enter. So I would write those numbers down now, and basically when this closes, you'll be able to see your take profit. Okay, does this make sense so far?
Yes, very well. But in this case now, like minutes is the trade. Oh, 15 minutes.
Yeah. So every candle, sorry, yeah, that's a great question. So you can see how here, if you click on the 15 minutes, every candle represents whatever time frame you're on, right? So I could flip it over to 30, 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hours. And then basically how I like to do it is that I like to start on the 4 hour time frame and move it down. Okay, but 15 minutes is usually the best indicator on how this market is going to move. Okay, so I like to keep it on the 15 minutes. So you see up here 15-minute, right? So again, kind of every candle will represent 15 minutes, right? So right now, you guys can see this little countdown here. There's about 2 minutes to go until the next candle opens, right? And the other great part about this is you see this like little orange line right here, right? That's kind of like your moving average, right? So right now, because the candles are above this moving average, we know that it's on an uptrend. And then it'd be the opposite if, see how right here, the candles were below, we were on a downtrend, right? So again, it's gonna come with time, but you guys can already see here, and you guys are smart, that because these candles are above this moving average, right? It's on an upswing or uptrend. Those two types of vocabulary are used interchangeably, right? So upswing, uptrend are the same thing, right? Downswing, downtrend are the same thing, right? So, this is going to happen, maybe in the next hour or so, maybe a couple hours, but now we know we've set up our zone here, okay? And basically now we just wait, right? We just wait for it to close above this pink line, but we've written down on our piece of paper or whiteboard, okay, 43,024 is my stop loss and 43,484 is my take profit, right? Because if you enter at 43,161, right, give or take around that area, right? How you mark up the amount of points that you're going to get is this. It's basically like a addition and subtraction. Okay. 484 minus 161. Let's just say if you entered at 161, right? That's about 322 points, right? So 322 points on a $50 account is about $3. Okay. And this could happen in a couple hours, right? And that's it. So you could make your daily profit, not just from HFX, but now you can make it from this Swipecoin scalper and the Swipecoin app, right? Because the Swipecoin app, the educators send you out the signals, right? And then the scalper is helping you learn how to mark up these charts so that you can, make these zones just like we just did, right? And it's going to come with time. The more hands-on you do, the better, right? And yeah, so basically that's kind of how it works. And then so now there's 2 streams of income coming in, right? And then let's see how we did here. So look at this. Closed. We won that trade. Boom. Right? So there you go. I'm happy we won that. And you guys can kind of see how that works. Okay. So hold on. So yeah, so we have to wait until this kind of keeps going up, but that's kind of how the scalper part works. And then if you look up here with the strategies, there's a drop down. So the original is only for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay. And then AltFi is a brand new strategy that only does tokens. Okay. So all those tokens that I talked to you about using the CoinGecko, right? So CoinGecko is very good in terms of, when you have extra money to put in, right? Look at the top, I would say top 25 coins, okay? And, let's just say you have $100 to spend. I'm going to personally go through, I like to do this every Friday. You guys can do this whenever you want. Here's why I use every Friday. Number one, it's the end of the week, right? A lot of people at their normal jobs get paid on Thursdays or Fridays, at least here in Canada, right? Number two is you have residual income coming in, you can use your residual day to basically, buy some of this, right? Use like 20% of your residuals, or, if once you get to a higher rank, you can even put a whole 1 week's worth of residuals and just kind of go through the top 25, right? Some of them are so dirt cheap, like not even, I don't even know, right? Like, so you buy some of this here and you never know, right? Or if you buy, like, say, Polygon for $2, right? Let's just say you have $100 kicking around. You can buy 50 Polygon, give or take, right? And then imagine Polygon goes to $20 next week, right? Now you have 50 Polygon that made you 10x. Now you have 500 bucks, right? So you guys can kind of see how you have to let your money work for you, whether it's profits, whether it's residuals, whether it's your own money. Always be setting up a system. Always set yourself up for success. So I like to use the 20% rule, right? You guys can do whatever percentage you want, but 20% to me is a very good number. That's what Mike Sotero said on one of our calls, where you use 20% of your profits / residuals and you just buy here and there, right? You don't have to spend an arm and a leg. Okay. So that's kind of what I wanted to touch on. But going back to the Swipecoin AltFi. So it's the same idea as your Swipecoin scalper, right? But here, right? Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. It's the same thing, right? They're telling us, let me just move this, that it's going to be on a downtrend, right? So once it breaks this $26 zone here, right? They're expecting it to go down to about $23.30. Okay. A scalp zone means you're taking partial profits, right? As it keeps going down, you can take some of your money. So how you do that is that you would actually go into your trade that you've placed. So whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's DOT, whatever it is, and you would just click on the trade itself, right? And it's either going to be blue or red. Obviously, you want it to be in blue, and you just hold it down, and it'll say take profit. So you just click that, and you're out of the trade, and you actually can take some of your money, right? So let's just say you could potentially make 100, but you're already like $80 in profit. Take it, right? And then you could re-enter, and always be moving your stop loss down to your take profit, right? So say, for example, we hit down to your scalp zone. This will be your new stop loss, right? Because you guys saw how we, set up our stop loss and take profit earlier, right? So you just move all of that down, right, to your scalping zone, so that you're guaranteed profits, right? And then a swing zone, which is usually indicated here. Let me see here. No, it's not indicated on this one here, but a swing zone is more of a longer term thing. Let me see if I can find an example for you guys. Okay, scalp zone. Yeah, here you go. So here's an example. So they're expecting around $1.22 on ADA. So ADA is Cardano right here. Okay. So basically, they're expecting Cardano to go on a downtrend, right? So anytime you see the scalp zone or the swing zone below your entry point, then it's on a downtrend. And then anytime vice versa, you're on an uptrend or an upswing, right? And remember, another indicator here too is we want, see how it's starting to make its move, right? Because look, this green, if you guys can see, it wicked on the orange average, right? So that means it's bouncing off what we call our resistance or our roof, remember? And when it hits our roof, what happens to that bouncy ball? It's going to have to come back down. So now we're waiting for it to close below around 1.22. Okay, so I'm actually going to type that in the chat for you guys to write down. Okay, so on your MetaTrader 4, you're going to be looking for ADA USD. Okay, you're looking for a sell, and you enter around 1.22. Okay, basically now how you want to do this, and I'm going to mark up this chart for us, is this. Okay, you're on a 30-minute time frame here, right? Remember this drop down, whatever. Usually with AltFi, it's 30 minutes. And the other strategy, which is Bitcoin and Ethereum, usually it's on a 15-minute time frame. So just something to keep in mind, something you're going to get used to, right? So what I'll do, again, I'll go into the 3 dots over here, okay? I'll click the arrow, and because it's a sell this time, it's going to be what we call a short position. Sell, short, SNS. That's kind of how I remember in order to mark up the chart. And just think, remember, yesterday we marked up the charts ourselves and we won. So think about how amazing that is when you win your first trade marking up your own charts, right? So I'm gonna, short position. Okay, so I'll set that up and I'll just make this, a 2-to-1 ratio. Okay, about there. And then I'll move that down to my entry point, which is about here. Okay, so you guys can see, this is about a 2.5 to 1 ratio. Okay, I might make my stop loss a little bigger and bring this down a little bit. Okay, so there's kind of like my zone that I'll call it. Okay, and so here I'm going to enter the stuff for you guys. So your stop loss is 1.247 and your take profit is 1.19086. So you guys can write this down and kind of keep an eye on ADA USD over the next couple hours as well. Because remember, each candle in this case represents 30 minutes, but make sure that this candle closes red below this kind of zone here. Okay, I'm actually going to move this down. Hang on, don't let's change this a little bit. Actually, no, let's keep it. So keep it the numbers that I told you, and then that's kind of going to be your zone. Okay, and then yeah, just wait for the red candle to close below this zone, and then you'll be able to catch some pips as well. Does that make sense, guys? Stop sharing my screen. So D is at the top, it's a sell. And D at the bottom is a buy, right? So kind of to reiterate what I was saying is HFX is 15 to 45 minute trading, depending on the candlesticks. Usually most educators use 5 or 15 minute time frames. So if it's 5, remember, and you see that arrow or the educator tells you to enter, you're entering for 3 candles worth, right? So 5 minutes equals 15, 15 minutes equals 45, right? And there's no stop loss or take profit in HFX. You just want it to close below the red line or above the green line, right? DCX is crypto or tokens using myswipecoin.im or the Swipecoin app, right? And then you guys saw earlier in the recording how to set up that little zone for your stop loss and take profit, which comes over time. And then FRX is using harmonics, which is D at the top, you're going for a sell, and D at the bottom, you're going for a buy. And always remember to try and trade in session, and also when two markets overlap. So that's usually between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. Eastern. So it would be noon to 4 p.m. Central Eastern or Nigerian time. Okay. And then whatever's at the top of the list is your current up-to-date currency pair that you want to trade. Does that make sense?